Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime Coaching. My name is Kevin Britz, leadership coach, trainer, and international leadership facilitator. Hosted the Lunchtime series where we add value to people's lives, happening every day at 12 o'clock on ebizradio.com. Today we have with us a very special lady all the way from Namibia who's been on one of the ELD programs, but I'm going to let her introduce herself. So Vanessa, please introduce yourself and tell us who you are and where you're from.
Hi, thank you, Kevin. My name is Vanessa Maresch. I am the Commercial Expansion Manager for Salt Essential IT. We are a technology company based in Namibia, as you said. So, yeah, that's basically what I do. And our business is all about digitally transforming our customers, so making a change in how people do business, challenging them, making impact, and empowering businesses to do better with less.
Amazing. Thank you. And so the reason why I wanted to have this conversation with you is we've just recently finished one of our leadership programs, the ELD program, and you showcased your presentation to us, to everybody, to the whole business, and I was like, wow, there was some substantial evidence that you showcased and spoke about. Why do you think? Why do you think going on a program like this has added value, and why do you think that it's such an effective program?
Okay, I'm going to start explaining by starting with one of my favorite things to say, and that's always, you don't know what you don't know. Or going the other way, you only know what you know. And I think that before we went on this journey with you, something significant that impacted my life and my colleagues was definitely things we didn't know. And the course that we attended brought to light over an 8-week period all the different components that were having an impact on us that we didn't know. So you'd be in a situation where you were unhappy, or you were frustrated, or you were not getting what you wanted out of another person or from another department, but you just didn't know. Didn't know why. It didn't even actually go as far as you realizing you didn't know. You were just unhappy and you were just frustrated and not being able to reach your own goals because other people were not according to you coming to the party. And by going through the course content, you actually work through a lot of the whys. So coming back to one of my other favorites, Simon Sinek, not just about why. You always think that if you know why you're doing business, you're going to do great business and you're going to have great relationships. But also the not knowing of the whys has a major impact on your on business, but also on your own mental health. So discovering all of these whys through the content really made the lights come on in my head. And made me actually see the reasons for challenges becoming blockers instead of becoming tools of empowerment. And what was really nice for me about the course is it's not just learning, not just learning why, but applying it in a real scenario in your own environment. And it makes you learn the why, but it also helps you address how you can do it differently. And it gave us tools as to how we could approach situations and people differently by giving us this understanding, which we didn't have before. So yes, that for me was really fantastic about the course. It's not just, number one, learning what we didn't know, and it's terrible at 40 years of age and having been operated in business for like the better more than a decade, almost 2 decades, and having to have learned some of these key fundamental secrets of working with people and through people to achieve certain things which we didn't know. And it's had a fantastic impact, an amazing impact on our business relationships, how we're working together, and addressing those things, and then also by addressing those things that bothered you and going back to the why and really working with your colleagues to have a methodology of approaching this better in future, you actually become happier because you are able to, why, you can address the problem, and you are actually able to have a plan or a method going forward. How are you going to address it when it comes again? When these scenarios that cause so much frustration in the past, come around again, and they do tend to do it. I mean, everything in life is a circle. We just keep on repeating over and over again the same behaviors. And we were sort of in a, you have the virtuous cycle, and then you have a not so virtuous cycle. And we could, by the content and the exercises we did in this course, we could turn a lot of the unvirtuous cycles into virtuous cycles. And, it's just expands from there. It grows exponentially.
I love it. I think it's so key and so fundamental. Like all the stuff you're saying is, exactly the point. And the fact that we've got to this point and you guys can see the results like you are. Speak to us just in terms of the three touch, we call it the 3 touch point system, but from the reading, the listening, and the actual taking action elements to that. Why do you think that is, or has an impact, and why do you think that's had an impact within your guys' environment? I remember you saying you get up early and you listen to the content while you're running or cycling. So I mean, it's a brilliant way to kind of use up that time effectively, right? But why do you think having a 3 touch point system like that sort of helps initiate, engage, and re-engage the habit forming processes?
Number one, I think the key about ingraining content or learning something is not just knowing about it, but actually making it part of your thought process and making it part of yourself. And how you do that is repetition. Number one, it's repetition, repetition, repetition. But it's not just good enough repeating it with a single sense. You can read the same book 10 times, and every time you read it, you're actually going to discover something different that you didn't pick up before, which is brilliant, but you're still not going to really holistically absorb the content. As soon as you start adding audio, you add another dimension of ingraining the content into your psyche, for the lack of a better word. I'm going all psychobabble here now, but it is true. You add another dimension where you're actually able to absorb that content from a different point of view, which is a different way of you actually ingesting the content. And then the practical application actually forces you to what you've now taught yourself in a mantra-like lesson, but it's like anything you learn. If you learn something at university, you can really repeat it, like what we say in Afrikaans, papegaai. You can, by repetition, know this is the right answer to the question, but you do not fully understand it until you actually have a practical use case for it and you can apply it. And I think by using those 3 different mechanisms of learning, and then the third one being the application, that really brings it home and makes it part of your habits, of your habit of engagement. That's the best word of it. It actually makes it a habit for you to react that way, to see things that way, to handle things that way. So it really becomes part of your daily life. And I think that's where the big change happens. It doesn't just help you read the self-help book or you listen to a documentary. By having multiple avenues of the content coming into your world and then applying it, that makes the big difference and makes it part of you forever. And I think that was one of the exciting things for me, is it's not like just a book. And I mean, I've read Harry Potter 12 times. Okay, sorry, all of them. I've read them all 12 times. But I am not Harry Potter. maybe if I listen to the books as well and tried the spells myself, so I would be. But the point is that the really successful learning is not just in ingesting content. It's definitely first point ingesting the content, and if you've got audio and visual, you've got these multiple avenues that it comes into your life. But then applying it, especially, and applying it to real scenarios that you're working with and you've always had issues with in your daily operations, you can then apply it. And it's your brain sort of says, oh well, this is giving me now a good feeling because this result is different than I had previously. And by this good feeling, I think we all instinctively want to feel good. It's like when you're hungry and you need to eat, and you eat and you feel good. So next time you're hungry, you got to eat again. Same principle. You feel good by the reactions that you're getting from this new behavior that you're displaying towards others. And that helps you repeat, and it becomes this virtuous cycle.
It's amazing. So, one of the things that you mentioned, and I just got two more questions, and then I'll stop. But one of the things you mentioned is that the teams working together and really finding each other, and your communication skills changing, laying better foundations, putting systems in place, delegation, all of these things that's part of the ELD. Do you think it's worthwhile teams in corporates out there take on this challenge and really implement a program like this?
If you probably asked me this question before I did the course and I didn't know, I was not in the know, I would probably have said, yeah, whatever. But now that I've done it, definitely. I can't describe to you in, what do we have, a couple of minutes, the impact that it's had on us as a team, especially in SALT. The team is so much more aligned, and not aligned by force or by company policy, aligned by virtue of humanity and seeing each other as people. And I think it's the best way that the course content actually started, because I think the first sentence that they give you there is, reaching or getting more by working with and through people, and not just with people. What the course makes you realize is that it's through people. You can achieve so much more by working through people, not just using them as an aim for an aim to a goal, or a tool to reach a goal, but really having a unified goal. And this is the company goal, but also it's recognizing the individual goals on a personal and a professional level, and being able to bring that together into the company's goals. And that's where I think the biggest difference came from, is that alignment that it brings, because ultimately everybody wants the best for their business. And where the conflict comes from is not necessarily the what, but the why, or the how, disagreeing about the how of the doing it, because we all actually are aligned. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be working voluntarily for a business. We've all got the same end in mind. It's how we do it. And this is why I think the course is so valuable for any organization. There is, if your people aren't aligned, the reaching of the goals of the business are going to be delayed or not achieved, even though the people are all in their minds aligned. It says on the board, we need to make XXX revenue. It says on the board, we need to do this. Management meeting, we need to do XYZ. And so we're all of us, we know about what we need to achieve, but we've all got different ideas of how we need to achieve it. And each of those ways of achieving it are valuable. And what this course really taught me is to see the value in how other people are doing it, and to actually be able to sort of meld all of those different ways of doing things, because we're all unique, we're all different, and we all contribute in a different way. And if we can recognize the value in how other people do things and incorporate that into our company's strategy of doing things, that's where the real value lies. And that's really what meant the most to me.
So, and I mean, I don't need to know numbers, but do you think doing something like this, and has it for you guys moved the needle in terms of profit and making money and getting out there and really driving that force together? Has it moved the needle for you guys as a business?
I'm a salesperson, and any good salesperson will always tell you any worthwhile venture takes 3 to 6 months. It's got a long sales cycle. So we've only completed our training, I think, a month ago. So it's early days. But what I can tell you in terms of the internal change of reaching these revenue goals is already clear to us as a business. We can definitely see how things are working, the tools and the systems, because it's garbage in, garbage out. Any tool, it's only what you put in is what you get out. So I feel what we are putting in to achieve our goals are we have a different approach. So I can definitely see internally how we've changed and how it's making a difference to the business. And I look forward to the numbers increasing. We've already seen some growth in that respect, but I know it's going to take 3 to 6, even 12 months for us really to see the difference in the numbers. And I'm looking forward to that because I know we're going to be very pleasantly surprised.
And we are doing more, so I'm excited about that as well. So last question, if anyone's listening to this out there and they go, okay, well, why should I do the ELD? Why should I do a leadership program like this? What are the 3 things that you think you would go, do it because of this, this, and this? What are those things for you?
Number 1, do it for yourself.
Yes.
Do it for yourself, because I can almost guarantee you, unless you're a hermit or you are a mushroom, you're going to be happier. You are going to come to work happier. You are going to experience a better teamwork environment for yourself. So you are going to be a more satisfied person. So you do it for yourself, then you do it for your team. You definitely, once you've attained that, I won't call it inner peace because this is not one of those shows, but once you've attained that comfort and that comfort of where you are and how you see the world, then you want that for your team. You want your team to experience that as well, because if they experience that, then they're also going to be happy and more open to doing things differently and recognizing each other. And then lastly, do it for your business. No. Do it for your customers because your customers at the end of the day are going to see the change from the business. So where it's many times you engaging with a customer with a certain goal in mind of what the customer needs, the rest of the business might not be 100% aligned of what the customer needs. And what this will do is for your customer, they will start experiencing that fantastic service they've always been getting from you, from everyone else, or from the whole business. And that for me was really fantastic, because for me, customer service is probably the ultimate goal that us in the service industry, that is our aim. That is my personal aim every day, is that my customers are in a good space and that they're getting value and that they're happy. And being able to speak from a point of, this is Salt's attitude. This is how Salt is customer focused, and we are all aligned in that customer service delivery. That is probably the biggest gift we could give to our customers.
Amazing. Vanessa Maresch, all the way from Salt in Namibia. Thank you so much for taking some time just to chat to me. I'm going to be sharing this all over, and everyone's going to see you all over the show. So if you want to find out more about Vanessa, please check it out. I'll make sure that I share your LinkedIn, and so people can know also what Salt does, and how you guys help businesses, and the impact that you guys have. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time, Vanessa. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Thanks to you, and keep on doing the good work. We are going to have some more engagements with you in the future, and we're really excited about it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. So excited. Thank you so much. Thanks, Vanessa. Chat to you soon.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Ciao.